What's going on, guys?
Oh my gosh. That actually... Ooh, okay.
Welcome back to Downright Random. I am in charge of scaring everyone this evening.
Oh my goodness. I had a burp that was coming and then you scared me and it went back down. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Hey.
How's it going? I'm Mike. This is Janine.
Hey.
And we welcome you back to our show. So, we've been talking about a lot of random things. Well, I mean, that's part of the show, I guess. So I don't know why I even said that. It's kind of stupid to say. But, so one of the things we were talking about earlier is about technology.
Mm-hmm.
And how these smart objects...
I just remember the conversation now. Yeah.
...are making us stupid.
Yeah.
You just now remembered that conversation?
We talk about a lot of stuff. So I was like, which technology conversation were we talking about?
Is that why you were confused when I said you want to talk about technology?
Yeah.
And you were like, huh? So, yeah. So, we even... I mean, a lot of it's coming across from some of our other conversations that we've been having. We were talking about, like, parents and their kids and going to schools and all this other stuff. We were seeing something from one of the other YouTubers that we watch about kids not being, I don't know what the right, no, they're not having the right, like, level of learning.
Yeah. So I was watching another YouTuber's like live show, and a caller called in, and I think she was saying she was a teacher, and basically she was saying that in her school district the passing grade is now 60, where I remember for us I think it was 65. Like, I think you had to, it was like 65. That was like 65. Bottom, but you were passing. And now they've dropped it down to 60. And it's because they don't want any kids to really feel like they're being like left behind or whatever. And
it's that whole no kid left behind thing.
Yeah. Which I know growing up, I knew a lot of kids that got left behind.
Oh, I did too.
So it was like, and I don't know if now they just don't want to, because another problem with the whole leaving kids behind is, a lot of times, like, then the school is more crowded because these kids need to graduate or whatever, or they're just not the same age group as the other kids, right. Or, so I think there's other issues that people, they don't want to have the whole, like, leaving kids behind or whatever. And then also the embarrassment part, because
I think that's more of it than actually anything else. I don't think they really care about the learning of the
and
the
it was
students.
more
I
of
think it's more, we shouldn't embarrass them.
Yeah. So... Whereas I'll share a story because I'm not ashamed of it. So, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I probably shared it, but I'm not sure. But when I first moved back from Georgia, my brother did, and my mom, and I went into...
How old were you?
7. So I was in 2nd grade. But for me, I'm
glad you knew that so quick. I wouldn't have been able to.
And I had a late birthday because, I was one of the kids that whatever. But I think I was 6 going in, and because my birthday's in December. But anyways, they wanted to leave me back because they said I wasn't on the same reading level. But really what it was, I was just a shy kid. Mm-hmm. And I think it was just from the whole move and everything. It was a new environment, new school, new teachers. So I was a little bit more shy.
Right.
And so they had no hesitation. They were just like, she's not on the same reading level. You need to leave her back. And then I even was hooked on phonics for a while. My mom actually still has it. Darn it. When I was over at her house, I wanted to take a picture because she still has the hooked on phonics thing, because and she really was like, I know she can read, but so there must be something else. So she did try and make sure that, I was on the right level, as other kids, which some parents, I don't know if they go that. A lot of parents do go the extra mile. They try to get tutoring and all this other stuff.
I mean, I had a tutoring thing.
You did.
I had Sylvan Learning Center.
Sylvan Learning Center.
That's what it was called. I didn't create it.
I had hooked on phonics works for me. But yeah, so it was like, it wasn't until my teacher, Miss I think it was Miss Simpson, I think her name was. She actually introduced me into poetry, like haikus and everything. Mm-hmm. And my brain was like, this is awesome. Like, and so at that point, then she realized she just had to find out something that I related to. So, and then, I got back on. So it's more
that you weren't like a disabled learning kind of child. It was more that you just weren't interested in the stuff you were learning, and you need to be interested in
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And I just needed to kind of like open up. And then after that, like I said, disabled learning, punch you in the face. But then I actually
feel like I said it correct.
Miss Sussman, that was her name, not Simpson. Sussman, sorry. It was gonna bother me if I didn't get it right. But and so I think with a lot of things with the school now, they're lowering the approval or the grade level.
Well,
and maybe that it could be that some kids aren't up to the same level, or maybe it just could be that they're not learning something that's making them interested enough. Or
I will say I agree on certain levels of that, but I feel that people have just given up. I'm serious. Like, I feel like a lot of this stuff is just given up, and I feel like all this, and again, goes with what the like technology part of this is. I feel like teachers nowadays, they do not have the right knowledge themselves to teach and prepare a class. It's all about like everything. Every time we hear something about schools, it's always like, oh, they're going to have iPads this year. Why do we need iPads? We didn't have iPads. We did very well. And the same thing goes, we were talking about like calculators. Like in math class, I remember that we weren't allowed to use calculators unless it was like a specific like lesson that required the calculator. But we weren't allowed to use calculators. We had to write all this stuff down. We couldn't just add it up. And I know sometimes some of us would be like, I know I had a little watch calculator and I would try to like do it and be like, and stuff like that. But
you have to also think about like when our parents were in school, they didn't have like computers and stuff like that.
No, they
Whereas
didn't. But they still learned all the stuff they needed to know.
Yeah.
And like today, it's like, oh, turn on your iPad and go to this website so you can learn about this stuff. Why don't we actually get rid of all these computers in the classroom that every kid has to be required to have this? Because I feel like it stops the teacher from actually teaching. And like, again, even though we're on YouTube, we watch other things on YouTube. I feel like that is not our main focus. Like, I feel like a lot of kids now are watching YouTube for their learning instead of reading stuff and actually like trying to gain this knowledge.
Well,
like,
I can say this. It has been like YouTube has become the new like instructional manual.
I mean, if you buy anything in the store,
sometimes they even say go to the YouTube channel.
There's like a booklet that has like 10 pages, but every page just says go to YouTube to watch the manual. But the 10 pages are all in just different languages.
Yeah.
So it's not something that helps you.
So because here's the thing, technology, like, and I'll be the first person to say, I'm not somebody who's like, I go crazy about new technology and all this other stuff. But I do think that there needs to be some like learning of it, but I don't think it needs to be like a dependency on it. Like, I don't think it needs to be like in every class. Like if you're going to have like computer class or something like that, so you can learn all these different like things, I can understand that. But I don't think that you should be in like every class, aside from like gym, because you can't really, I don't know, do kids do PE anymore?
They probably do it now. They probably have all the smartwatches.
But it's like
next year,
can you imagine that every kid
has to have a smartwatch so you can keep track of everything on there. It's like, today, what's your heart rate?
Yeah.
Like I remember again, in our health class, we actually had to learn like the pulse, and like how to like basic heartbeat kind of stuff. I mean, it wasn't like huge things that we had to like figure out, but the basics of just like where's your heartbeat at, or where's your pulse at, to learn what your heartbeat is and things like that. But like now it's like, oh, my heartbeat is 92.
Oh,
I'm sorry, 97 now. That's like, it's like, that's one of those things. Is kind of just, it makes it easier, but do kids know how to find a pulse? Do they even teach that anymore?
So, and I know we're talking about like school and stuff like that, but I don't even think it stops there. I think even like people who are well out of school have kind of dumbed themselves down. There's a dependency on
technology.
I think people, like, I would say even for like a lot of us, once we started having like cell phones and stuff, like we were just like, we don't have to learn phone numbers. Numbers are nothing. Just look in the cell phone. Some people,
this is true. As a kid, I knew everybody's. I could probably recite like probably 20 different phone numbers in my head. And it was like my friends' parents, like if they had like, it's like a split household kind of thing. I knew my dad's
work number.
I knew my mom's work number. I knew my dad's coworker's number. Like there have been times my dad would have been like, what's Brian's number? And I would be like, oh, it's and I would say it. Like it's
like we've turned off one part of our brain, but like do we just turn the lights out, or are we
Yeah.
using it for something else? That's what I feel. I feel like it's like a vacant building in our brains,
Yeah.
and we're just no longer using it. It's there, or we just filled it with crap. Like we just filled it like
That's
with,
probably what it is,
junk,
too.
you know, like a junk room in your house or something like that, instead of actually having it organized. And
I think it's definitely filled with crap. Most definitely.
yeah, and I feel like that's what it is. It's like we've taken our brains and we're just like, let's put 50 memes in this one, and let's put dumb jokes about, I don't know, something, whatever. Let's put whatever. And it's like we're just stacking junk. And at first it's stacked, and now it's just like, just throw it in the junk room.
Yeah.
Instead of actually using that space for something else. And then the stuff that we do remember, it's just like it's becoming smaller and smaller and smaller because we're depending more and more on technology or whatever.
Right.
And like I said, I'm not
But it makes us dumber.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
and like my philosophy with like computers and stuff is it's only as smart as its user.
Yeah.
But I feel like that started to change. I feel like the equipment has definitely gotten smarter than us, and it's gonna keep getting smarter than us, and we're not gonna know how to do anything.
So we were talking about a couple of movies that kind of like talk about like the dumbing down of like society, like Idiocracy, even Wall-E. And then I was saying that I wanted to watch. I don't really know if I can't really remember if people were dumb in that scenario in Demolition Man, but for some reason that movie like recently
It had some dumb kind of things in
recently
it, but
came into my head, and it's just like we watch these movies and we're like, that's crazy. It'll never be like that. And then you like talk to people or you are around certain people, or you know, and you're just like, we are way too dependent. Like there's nothing wrong with embracing technology to an extent, but like when you go in places and you're just like, you feel like you don't have to do anything anymore because technology is just going to do it for you. I think that as humans, I feel like that's a way of pushing humanity into like extinction, or at least into lowering our importance, you know, or something like that. And so, like I said, yeah, you can blame it on the school system and everything. And I'm not saying to all teachers, 'cause I know there are some teachers who are still really fighting and trying to like.
There are,
because like that teacher that called into
but
that show, she was saying that, you know, she was trying to talk to the district and saying, no, we shouldn't allow 60 to be you know, approved. Like that should be that's below, you know, failing. So we need to do better. And so obviously the school district is just like, hey, if we have a good rating and we're saying that kids are passing, even if they're passing at the lowest, but we're saying kids are passing, we can make our stats look a whole lot better. And that's the problem, because they know if they make their stats look better, they'll get better funding and all this other stuff.
But again,
so instead of having good funding and like maybe better teachers or better supplies or more training or something like that, instead of putting the funding there, they're just kind of like fudging the system and letting these kids fall through the cracks.
Right.
So
I feel like it's one of those things though that even though there are good teachers out there, I feel like this technology has like hindered so much stuff. Like we talked about this briefly in one of the other episodes of like script and, you know, all that kind of stuff and writing. But I feel like with typing and stuff on like texting and stuff, you don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like you just don't. That's another area of where it just kind of messes up. But like one thing that we were talking about that kind of bothers both of us is that also with all these phones and everything, you have lost the ability to know how to read maps.
Oh, okay, yeah, we were talking.
I feel like some people. Feel like some people.
And when he says you, he just means general you, not like me. He's not talking to me.
Yeah, I mean general you.
Yeah.
General of everyone out there. Like we're so reliant on the GPS function of our phone that it's ridiculous. Like if you put a paper map in front of someone, they wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
There's a few people out there that would be like, oh, I would love to have a paper map again. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Like I use my GPS mainly just to figure out, just to have the map.
Yeah.
So when I input the address, I can see the little dot and I know where I have to go. And then I'll zoom out, I'll look at my path and I'll be like, I know how to get there.
And you also try to make sure you remember, like you said, like if you've been there like once or twice, you can remember.
If I've been there normally once, I can get there again.
Yeah.
Almost every time. If I've been there once, I can get there again.
But it's like so many people that like they know how to get there, but then the GPS is like turn right here, and you're like, I thought the right was like, and it could be, not that it's directing you in the wrong direction, but it could just be taking you a different way based on time and based on, you know, the way the route is going or whatever. But if you know, like if you go up this way and make a different turn, that you know you'll get there also. It's like, trust yourself. Don't make the machine think for you.
But see, the funny thing is as a kid,
when
like my parents would be taking me and my brother to my
Yeah,
grandparents
your
or something.
Your mom was telling that. Yeah.
That if we went a different way, I would freak out because I'm
Yeah.
like, this is not the way.
Yeah.
We are not going the right way. This is not the way. Turn around.
Mike would have been a horrible kid to try to kidnap. Like, yeah, I'm taking you to your grandparents' house. No, you're not. This isn't the way.
I know where this is. I know where we're going. I'm gonna tell everyone. But no,
yeah.
it's like.
But see, with you saying that though, some kids probably don't even know because they're in
their phones.
They're in their phone or in their.
They're
tablet.
gonna be. They're
so
on the
they're
car
not
ride.
even.
On the car ride, they're just gonna be in their tablets.
Whereas us, like me and my brother, we would play like this game. Like we would see cars going by, and we'd say like if there was a car we liked, we'd say bingo, bingo. Like that was like we would like that was us claiming that thing. But nowadays they're just like. They're just like in
they're
their
just looking down.
Yeah,
headphones on,
not paying attention to anything.
And when we were kids, we were just looking out the window, going,
"Yeah, bored out of our minds."
This is boring. How many more hours?
4 more hours. But we were actually engaging with one another, though, with your siblings, with your parents, with the outside world.
Fight all the time.
Yeah, but you were still engaging.
Yeah,
you were still like, So I think that's the thing, and I think that is a little weird, like when you see parents, like, and it's not. I know, like, because I know we're gonna get this. People are like, well, you're not parents. You don't know. You have to, you have to entertain your kids and everything like that.
We have to entertain our dog. You have no idea the extent of entertainment our dog requires.
But it's like, I know that it's not the same thing as raising a kid.
Oh, it basically is.
And between that with the dog, and also, we were once kids.
We were kids.
I think both of us as kids were very attentive to things. Like I know I was like, I was always asking questions. I was always looking and watching, and I absorbed a lot. And so I feel like knowing that I was that way, I think about kids in that sense where they are absorbing a lot, and they may not say anything, but they're looking and they're observing and they're taking in a lot of things, and they're trying to analyze it in their little brains and everything. And so I think that's the thing. I go back to like thinking about me as a kid and how things were presented, and I think that's what I try to think about. Even though yes, I don't have kids myself, but I think you just have to be a better role model, and and understand that things that you've gone through, they're not going to see it that way. Everything is new. Some things are new to them, and so you have to have that kind of understanding as well.
Well, it's also that they don't understand. Because even places and things are not the same as they were back then, and so you don't always understand their like things, and they don't understand your things. And I think that's another issue. Is like, at least for me, like music, movies, shows. We were involved with what my parents like watched and listened to. Like, I mean, even like all the music was all the like the older stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't really listen too much newer stuff. I mean, we did from time to time, and there were things like that, but
I don't think you really kind of branch out on your own thing until you're about maybe in high school, junior high school, kind of, because then you have friends that kind of introduce you to different things. But for the most part, before then, you're listening to what your parents.
But I think today society has changed so much that the parents are listening to all the stuff of today. Not listening to the stuff of when they were growing up, at least not all of them.
Yeah.
And then they're pushing that on their kids because they want to be the kid's friend, they want to be their best bud, and they want to watch the same.
Okay, so just talking about that really quick. We saw this story on the news, and this lady was talking about like masks and everything, and the kids wearing masks and in school, and I think that's what the story is about. Because when
I don't think that was it.
Well,
no, it was something about. It wasn't about masks in school. It was just something about school and not going back to school.
Okay, not going back to school and all that, and that being wary about the kids going back. So then she showed a picture of her kids, and they all had their masks on. And this one kid, which I'm guessing because based on the second picture that came up after, I'm saying maybe he was around
9.
No, I think he was a little older than that. Maybe
he looked around 9.
Yeah, well,
maybe 10.
Maybe 10. He had a. So you noticed it first.
I did notice it first.
It was a Tekashi 6ix9ine mask. All I'm going to say is do better, Mom. That's it. Because why are you letting your 9-10-year-old listen to that? Like, seriously. Yeah. And I don't care if anybody can come here and say, oh, you're being judgmental. You don't know. You know what? There's certain things you don't need to expose your kids to. And if you don't know who Tekashi 6ix9ine is, look it up without your kid in the room and tell me if that mom needs to do better. I'm not, it's not like I'm trying to.
That's an acceptable role model for kids.
That's the thing.
Because
celebrities become role models to your.
But see, the problem with him is he gave money to schools and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, his music videos contain violence, contain like trying to like talk about killing
just
people,
vulgar, just like
nudity,
over sexual,
all this other stuff. And all because he gives to schools does not mean he's a role model for kids.
And it's a BS thing that a lot of celebrities try to do, like whole philanthropy thing, and then they, philanthropy. That's right. Yeah, I said it right. Yeah, and it's like they try to go, oh well, I donated, so then they're okay in the books. And no, this guy he's not a. Listen, if you want to listen to him, if you're older than like freaking what, nobody should. Yeah, but it's like it's one of those things where I think it's absolutely ridiculous, and the fact that the whole mask thing becomes like a fashion thing, and like I don't remember what the price was of the mask, but it's
okay. So on his website, it was $25 for that mask, for that one mask. On the copycatter's website, it's like $16 or something like that.
It's not something, because here's the thing: he's gonna wear it, and he's gonna go around his friends and be on his little social media, and they're gonna say, "Oh, where'd you get that cool mask?" And then that kid's gonna listen to it, and then that kid's gonna listen to it, and then it just rots their freaking brains. And it's like you have to like. Just do better. And I don't like I said, I don't care if someone says.
Okay, here's another thing talking about kids and the stupidity with technology and stuff like that. And it's a problem that we also have as a society and us living in the world is I am done with Baby Shark. Baby Shark, granted, it's gone kind of down. It wasn't as bad as it was like before a lot of the stuff, but it was bad.
Yeah.
But
jump off a building while slitting your throat.
So here is the thing. That song is so bad for your children. It has no lyrics other than like the two things in it.
Oh God, I don't even want to think of it in my head because it's gonna.
Like songs when we were kids actually had verses, verses and not really choruses per se, but it actually had verses.
I just feel like they just made that song and they said, "How annoying can we be?" And then they made that song, and parents just like, and I know there were things that we probably listened to as kids that were really annoying, but. That song is that whole thing is just so annoying, and I don't know. There's no learning to it.
There's no learning.
It is what it is. At the end of the day, it is. I don't even know what to say about that because I really don't like it, but I'm happy that I didn't have to hear it. And if maybe some parents were just making it seem like they liked it just so they didn't go crazy, but I didn't think it was cute.
But again, as we walk around like a store, there's a kid in a shopping cart and blaring it on an app that they're just on the app, and then the parents just shopping on the thing, and the kid's like down the aisle not knowing what's going on. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I know we're gonna get a lot of flack, but you know what? I don't care. Here's the thing: you have a brain, a beautiful, beautiful brain. To use it.
Is it?
Yes, to use it. It's okay to be involved in some technology stuff, like you said. We do social media, we do all that other stuff.
Technology can be good.
Yeah.
Like I do like technology. I find
you get more excited than I do. Yeah.
I do like technology. I like the advancement technology. I like the
fact that we can talk into these things right now and we can record it and
right. I do like technology.
Yeah.
But I think there's an overabundance of just dependency on it that it's not even funny.
Yeah. And I feel like, and during this time right now, it made people even more dependent on it. Yeah. Because you couldn't go out, you couldn't do anything. And then, once again, I always say, I feel like technology was made to connect us, but disconnect us at the same time. So that's the thing. And it's just like, we like I said, we have beautiful brains to fill in with good stuff, not to have junk rooms and all this other stuff. You can have one little junk closet. And I think that that's good. But I feel like a lot of the stuff is just kind of,
I feel that even in your junk closet, at some point you have to clean it out.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we ranted too much today.
It's whatever. Hey, guys.
Maybe you guys want to make both of us disappear like in our last video. But
we're not. We're here.
But yeah. And if you didn't watch our last video,
go watch it.
Go and watch it. You can see me disappear.
But yeah, so that's our thing. Like, how do you guys feel about technology? Like, and do you feel like you have a technology? Because some people have done like technology purges where they or cleanse where they say I gotta just step away from it for a while. Have you ever done gone through that kind of experience where you feel like you have to step away from it, or are you perfectly fine with technology thinking for you the majority of the time? And and I know there's going to be some people that are saying, hey, it's a good break for them with their kids or whatever. And I can understand, like, yeah, our parents sat us in front of the TV sometimes and took a break. But,
I mean,
but not
they
to the
did,
point
but-
where, you know, our social skills with them were affected or something like that, or with other people. Because there have been times when like parents are talking to their kids and they're still just looking at their thing, and it's like, do they even hear them? Like,
Yeah.
so it's like, I don't know. And then, like I said, even adults, they've taken it, you know, the whole, I feel like a lot of people are living through this, like, I guess they're upset because they didn't have that technology when they were younger or something like that. So
We
now
have
they're
different
trying
technology.
they're trying to absorb everything. But anyhow, whatever.
I don't know. We had the fun little lawnmower thing that went pop 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 pop. I would have one of those now.
And we said this before. We said that we were kind of happy we were born and grew up in the time we did, because we had like where things weren't really like this, and then we have this technology, but we're older, and you know, so it's like we had a taste of that old technology or whatever. So anyhow, that's us. What do you think? It's like, whatever.
All right, guys.
Make sure to
Like, comment, share, subscribe, all the above. Definitely share us around. Let others know about us.
leave comments down
Leave
below.
comments down below, guys.
Yeah.
We're getting some comments from you guys, but it's not down below. It's from just on like our Instagram and our Facebook and stuff like that. We love talking with you guys, but definitely leave it below so other people can also have a conversation with you as well. And it may spark a new conversation with us that we may talk about.
Yeah.
So definitely let us know. And but anyways, guys, we'll talk to you later.
That's it.